So excited to be here with all of you today. I want to do an introduction with a quick interactive survey. If you want to participate, you can just raise your hands. If you're ready, let's start. Who can say, I'm a respectful person in this room? The result is as I guessed. Okay, next one. Who can say, I'm a conscious individual? Okay, let's try something else. How many of you guys here would say that I am the best version of myself right now? Okay. I don't think it's easy to say that I am the best or I am an ideal human and I have full infinite energy, both physically and psychologically, for pure actions. So, here's the Maslow's pyramid of self-actualization. It's a motivational theory in psychology comprising 5-tier model of human needs, as you see. I would like to briefly explain these steps. The lower band belongs to the physiological requirements of human needs, such as air, water, housing, sleeping, and nutrition supply. After that, we need safety of security, privacy, morality, and health, especially mentally. As human beings, we also need any kind of love in our lives. For instance, sexual intimacy, friendship, and family. The next step is self-esteem. These steps require self-worth, success, and respect. People who said they are respectful in the beginning should fulfill their necessary needs until they reach this step, actually. When an individual has freedom and all of the requirements are satisfied, this person almost can become the best version of themselves. On the other hand, there is an inner world that we are not so much talk about and just ignore it. So, here still we have met all of our other world needs in this fourth step. What about next? What happens next? We talk about health in Maslow's pyramid, but what about mental? What about inner world? For instance, consciousness and infinitive thoughts of human mind. Can these 5 steps be entirely completed without them? You can see here the layered model of human psyche according to Carl Gustav Jung. At the base, there is a full infinity. Within the power of this full infinite, we must take pure actions, actually. As Sigmund Freud, who is the founder of psychology, said, there are 3 layers of self, and one of the significant of them is the ego, which will be returned later. So, for now, we are in the psychological, unconscious inner world, and the first thing we have to do is define ourselves. Individuals can compose different personalities that are differentiated from the real, authentic self. And when you try to self-actualize yourself, you acquire more than one self in this path. The easy way to define ourselves in such a context is stop believing of truth of the everything that initially gives us our identity as an individuals. So, after self, place the element that make up the collective conscious, namely archetypes. These are sort of universal thought forms that carry intense emotional elements, consciousness, and energies. So, in this regard, archetypes can be associated with different personas effects too. When we look the next, we can say that shadow is kind of hidden, repressed, or for the most part, guilt-laden and inferior archetype. So therefore, shadow must be cast by something in the unconscious. So we cannot say ego, which is our next step, can be the source of shadow. So for this reason, now after the shadow, we are in the logical conscious area, and the last step on this path is to do beating ego. A good start might be observing what frustrates ego and where does frustrations come from. So, after all these steps, we can reach the persona. In such a context, these are not created personalities that to mask or to private ourselves. They are just masks to enhance certain features of individuals. However, consciousness and unconscious in Jung's theory are the still unsolved case and the biggest obstacle to reach at the top of the diagrams. So, there are various other theories about this subject, and I believe that consciousness, or we can say the effect of perception, is still mystery. As an appropriate example, the movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Mark Ruffalo can be given. In the movie, it seems that the protagonist, who is played by Leo, perception and conflict between his feeling of alienation from reality or accepting the truth and his dilemma of living. So, I believe that this complexity comes from the mental struggle that we should defeat the supply at the Maslow's pyramid as a safety of health. I believe that all of us who watch this kind of movies at least once think about their possibilities. For example, I can say for myself that every time I watch Shutter Island, or I know it's cliche about Matrix, I think about this situation's possibilities for a week and I stuck into it. So, according to that, apparently I can say for myself that I haven't met all my needs yet, and I have a long way to go for this. Yeah, I can understand these seems complex things, but it's a part of our mechanism of psychology and life experience. Today's meditation is so popular, as you know, but what is the purpose of this meditation? It's with the help of the meditation, we can acquire the full infinite energy for these steps. When we look at the broad perspective, we can see that all the things that I have said and the two diagrams are connected to each other at one point. When we have whole infinity, self, consciousness, freedom, ego, and personas, we can jump over from the fourth to fifth step, and ultimately we can live to our highest potential, which we call the nirvana. Thank you for attention.